It's raining.
Why are we talking about men?
Honey, if it's ever raining, man, you know I'm gonna be outside with a
It's
basket, a blanket. I'm just gonna lay down on the carpet. Oh, we live. Okay, stop.
Are you ready? Are you ready, Syndee? Because it is like after 8 o'clock.
Wait, Cindy
Listen,
she's still
listen.
putting on makeup.
I just took off my bonnet for this.
Oh,
Oh,
Okay.
me too, friend. Me too.
And those edges are laid. Let no one tell you otherwise.
Listen, wait. I want y'all to get into these edges.
Get close up. Get close up to the people. Okay.
Let the people see. Let the people see
Okay,
that
because
there it is.
get that toothbrush and lay that thing down.
Lace well, honey. Y'all don't see.
And y'all see the wet and wavy. And she
You can't spell lace without lay, honey.
You know what? I am coming into 45, feeling 25, honey.
Yes, ma'am.
Moving like a 20. Yes. So get into it.
And you better represent that Bahamian flag behind you.
You see the 242 in the house.
You're gonna have to give me some techniques on that, honey, because I'm coming into 41 and I feel my back is 80, my ankles is 92.
Now wait
when
a
I
minute.
move, it don't move. But when I
just
move,
like that, just like that,
these knees be screaming. Trust me, knees, back, everything. But it's okay. Nobody else don't know I'm in pain.
Listen, I just love the fact. Wait, I just love the fact. Look at Syndee. She's so serious. She's still putting on makeup.
I literally just woke up from a nap from being. I'm dealing with the most excruciating cramps. Why, when I want to be great, my period goes no.
Because that's life.
Greatness.
We can never have, just one day of peace.
No, ma'am.
I got up. I went to the gym. I went back to work because Broadway's back.
Yes,
I went and dropped my stuff off. I took a COVID test. That sucked. Went there, got a coffee. It was great. Showed up, did work, came back, and then blop. I'm in the bed.
Penelope showed up in town.
Yes, honey. That's Mary. That's Mary.
I call her Penelope, honey. When Penelope's in town, boo, all things go messy. Anyway.
First of all, Diva B, can you please explain to the people why we got this rainbow hat on, baby? You better come through, Rainbow.
So, honey, we have the rainbow hat because it is officially Pride Month. And I will be honest with you, I agree that there should not be just a February Black History Month, that every month should be Black History. Every month should be Pride Month. Every month should be enjoy life, enjoy everybody's for their differences. So this hat is for all the pride in the building.
Yes, honey.
Okay.
Come through.
So it's been flopping around. So sometimes you might have beach pride.
Ooh.
You might have pride. So we just have to see what it's about. So stay tuned.
And guess what? On that note, it's time to talk, Miami.
Let's talk.
Welcome back.
Diva B, everyone is loving that hat, honey. Yes.
Yes,
thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Prime Month. So, hi, everybody. Let's get into it. We are back. Did y'all miss us? First of all, we was gone for a week. Did y'all miss us?
So long.
Oh, I know.
I missed us. Can I say that?
Ooh, I got a fan in the comments. My husband on, hey, babe.
Oh, hey there, Georgia.
Okay, you want to give a shout out to your loved one? It's like the quiet storm,
I want to give a shout out to
he said, look at my baby.
Roberts. Hey, handsome. I'll be off in an hour.
Wait, Shanda.
She'll be off in 45 minutes.
Don't you worry. I got 56 more minutes. I'm just letting y'all know.
I have something to say, Shanda. Look at the screen. Is that your man?
Oh,
is that that's him?
That's him. I'm gonna stay up beside him.
Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Well, hi everybody. We are back. We have so much in store for you tonight. So let's just jump right into it. But before we even go into the first topic, let's go around the room because we may have some new listeners. And so, of course, I want to say hi. I will be your host tonight. I am TK Owens, and I am going to pass the baton down below to the one. Grab it. There you go.
Ta-da! I'm back on my Broadway bull-ish, y'all. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Syndee Winters. So happy to be back. I missed you. I missed us. And it's time to talk, Miami.
Yes. Passing it down to the man with the rainbow hat.
Oh. That way. Hi, everyone. It's Diva B. You know, the one, the only. And tonight, instead of having one of my boyfriends, I got two of them here today. They don't talk very much, but they'll listen. So I'm going to throw it up to
wait a
the
minute.
one
Who
and
is
the
back
only.
there? No.
No, Diva B, why do we always skip over the names?
Who is that?
Well, I told y'all last week, this is boyfriend one, and this is boyfriend two.
Oh, boyfriend 1 and 2. There's no names?
Boyfriend 1 and boyfriend 2.
Like I
people
said.
should remain nameless.
Or I say boo and boo too.
Ooh.
Boo. Anyways, tossing it up.
The Bahamas. Who are you?
Hey y'all, good evening. I just can't stop smiling. I missed y'all. I really did.
Hey.
I know we had brunch and everything, but I'm so happy to be back on talking to y'all. I missed our Talk Miami family, our TM family. I see everyone in the comments. It's so good to see everyone. I hope everyone is doing great. I had a wonderful night last night. I took my kids from work to the Mayweather and Logan fight. So they had a great time, but I'm tired. I'm really sleepy. So y'all got about 55 more minutes before I nod off. But I'm great to be here. I'm happy to be here. I had a great time last weekend.
She nodded
and
off
I love y'all,
earlier.
so it's time to talk.
Absolutely. So there you have
I'm watching the clock.
Oh no, because you guys know why she clock out. Y'all pay attention to Shanda about 8:45. Yeah, watch it. She gonna do a yarn.
George, make sure you have that drink ready, George, at 8:45, boo.
And Gigi, get that Ricola, baby.
Get that Ricola,
honey. Okay, but tonight, on a serious note, I reached out to the team just a few days ago, and I told them, I said, guys, I'm trying to figure out what topics we should talk about. And then, of course, every single time that I turned on the news, and just like my DJ Khaled voice, and another one, if I look at the news one more time and see another senseless killing and a shooting that is taking place right here in our own community, I told them we cannot represent Miami and not talk about this issue. Because if I have concerns, I know many of you have concerns, and it just seems like it's not going to stop. And so there's just so much that we need to talk to, that I even just want to take you around the world, just even around Memorial Weekend. But right before Memorial Weekend, we cannot even forget the senseless killing and shooting of Elijah LaFrance back in April 24, 2021. This baby was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting at his own birthday party. We can't forget LaShante Jones down in Naranja. Just last month, she was shot and killed right in front of her 3-year-old daughter. We cannot forget everything that even took place over Memorial Weekend. And just in case, if any of you didn't get a chance to see that, let's all take a look.
See my kid? Emotions running high after a violent Memorial Day weekend. It started Thursday evening near Casino Miami when a barrage of bullets went flying into this white car. Moments later, the car would knock down a sign and crash into a pole. The driver of the white car hit by gunfire and the passenger grazed by a bullet. In this video from the Miami Herald, a man can be seen hanging out the window of a black car firing a gun, an innocent bystander hit by a bullet, witnesses helping to treat his arm. Fast forward to Friday night, a deadly mass shooting in Miami's Wynwood district. Our cameras capturing over 3 dozen evidence markers next to shell casings. 7 people were shot. One of the victims died.
It's gut-wrenching.
And overnight, gun violence did not stop. Police say a white Nissan Pathfinder pulled up to a banquet hall in northwest Miami-Dade. 3 shooters got out of the car and let off multiple rounds, injuring more than 20 people and killing 2. These back-to-back mass shootings have community advocates like Ed Haynes fed up. Through his organization, Circle of Brotherhood, Haynes is hoping to promote peace and encourage people to speak up after tragedies such as what we have seen this Memorial Day weekend.
It's very disheartening, to be honest with you, and our community is tired. We're tired of being tired.
I mean, we can't stop, and just when we thought that was over, here we go again. Just this past weekend, 3 killed, 5 wounded in shooting at a graduation party right in Kendall. And I'll also let you know that it came close to my own home. My sister-in-law lost her brother down in Florida City, shot and killed. So enough is enough. We need answers. We need to come together. And what better way than me to bring on an amazing man, the executive director of Circle of Brotherhood. Guys, please join me in giving him a warm welcome for Brother Lau Muhammad. He is coming to us with the Circle of Brotherhood. Come on in, Brother Lau, Brother Lau, Brother Lau.
Yes, snaps all around.
I think you're muted, Brother Lau. There you go.
Right back at you, family.
Oh,
much love, family.
Brother Lau, so much is going on, and I would love for you to tell the audience first of all, I want you to introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about the mission of Circle of Brotherhood and, of course, what you guys do.
I definitely appreciate that. And I want to thank you all for your energy and your spice of life that you're bringing in a time of so much gloom. And I know, I mean, look, family, sometimes you gotta laugh just to keep from crying.
Yeah.
And in way of an intro about me, it'll be very, very short. I am a servant that has been blessed to use the talents that God has given me to do some masterful, very much needed work in our community, across this nation, and by his grace across the world. But I'm a servant. But about the Circle of Brotherhood, because it's so tied to what we're talking about. A lot of people are familiar with the show. You all remember the show First 48? I said remember, like it still doesn't go, it probably still comes on. Well, you know, Miami put First 48 on the map. And it was at that time around 2012. Matter of fact, he just became, I think, a deputy chief in North Miami. At that time, he was Detective Ford. He had been doing, now Detective Ford was the one on First 48. He was investigating all of the murders in Overtown, Little Haiti, Liberty City. Pause there for a moment and just think about this. Being in homicide investigated for 27 years, what that man has seen. And it was a rash of murders that took place. But what caught him this time is that how quickly they were becoming cold cases, and he couldn't take it anymore. So he went at that time to then Commissioner Michelle Spence Jones and said, look, this is what's happening. I don't know what to do. And she says, I don't either, but I know who to call. So just to fast forward, she called a few of us together who were already doing work in various areas in the community, but doing nothing together. Some of us knew each other, some of us didn't. All walk of life. Some of us activists, some of us business folk, some of us Muslim, some of us Christian. And we made a promise after Detective Ford laid out to us what was going on, that we would never, ever again allow anything that disunites us to be more powerful than what we could do together. And we said, so where's the hotspot? Where do we need to be? And we begin to meet every week, right in the Beans. If you don't know what the Beans is, then
that's right. All right, Polka Beans.
Right? Liberty Square, proper for those. And we made only one promise. And that promise, TK and crew, that promise was we're promising to build an organization, but that we must first be brothers. And that's what gave birth to the Circle of Brotherhood.
Yes. And of course, I'm just going to jump right into my first question and then we'll go around the room. And then, of course, we're also going to check the comments and questions. Guys out there, our listeners, if you have any questions, we're going to reach out to Brother Lyle. Let's ask anything that you would love to know from us of what do we do as citizens? What can we do? And that's my first question to you, Brother Lyle, is we could talk a good game. And it sounds good to say, stop the violence. But what action needs to be done?
I really appreciate that question, TK. Made a promise some years ago, once we knew the solution to stop the violence in our community, that we were never, ever again going to pretend like we don't know what needs to be done and we don't know what needs to take place and happen. And so when you ask that question, the first thing all of us got to do, no matter where we are, citizen, politician, funder, business person, we got to get thick enough skin to have a real conversation about what's going on. Because here's the categories. A good brother of mine I used to do some training with, he talked about these 3 categories of ignorance, naive, and stupid.
Come on now.
Right. And now ignorant means that you don't know. Right. And a lot of us are afraid to admit that we're ignorant when it comes to certain things pertaining to the root causes of gun violence. We're not even willing to go there. And then you have some other individuals who are just straight up naive. And that means that when you're naive, you don't know what you should know. And that causes a serious, serious issue. And then when you have fake people with responsibilities and duties walking around who are naive, they pretend like they know what's going on. And that's just plain stupid when you don't know and you don't care. And so I mention that because I remember back in 2018, TK, there was a mass shooting in Liberty Square. 4 young men were shot, 2 killed, and the whole county and everyone went up in uproar. Like you notice we always go in uproar when the shootings take place.
Yeah,
right. We always know how to have a press conference, but we always strategically block out those that have the light, the path, and the way, particularly if it interferes with your political interests. And so we introduced a community wellness plan at that time. And when we did it, and we still stand by it today, I still go back and I look at it every day, and we're not budging. We know what the solution is to our problems, but unfortunately, gun violence has become a political football in our community. And there's not an education process taking place within the community. There's not a political education process taking place so politicians can be informed of what's going on. And the main root causes continue to go unaddressed, and they throw money at problems.
Come on now.
So I'm putting out there right now, we want to introduce our community wellness plan. And if you're doing something that's involved with stopping gun violence, you'll see right where you fit in, but we're not hiding anything. And we're saying it that if there's anything in our plan that falls short of saying what it is, we'll correct it, we'll amend it, because we're in this work for real. But too many people are going around acting like they know what's going on, TK, but they really don't. They don't.
Wow.
Well, and it's also sad that everything is money driven. Because one thing that I've always thought when I thought of gun violence is, why don't we change the laws? But then everybody who wants to change the law doesn't really have the power or the authority to do so. And the ones that don't want to change it are the ones in Congress and the ones that are backed by millions and billions of dollars. So they don't change it, because I don't understand why someone has the power to go and buy an AK-47 with 150 rounds. And now this is going to get me in trouble because I have a lot of friends that they collect their guns.
No, go ahead.
But, oh, girl, you know me. I will go ahead whether I get in trouble or not, okay? Because if you don't like me, you can unfriend me. Anyways, so what I don't understand is, I understand the novelty of wanting to collect something, but when you have a military style weapon that is meant for a war field, there's no reason why the Parkland shooter should be able to go to the Bass Pro Shop and get the same gun. There's no reason why somebody can go to Walmart and get, a gun real quick. It's like, that's like me saying, yeah, I like bazookas and rocket launchers, so let me go buy one. It's like, what the hell does somebody need with a rocket launcher or a bazooka? I understand some people will say, oh, but those guns are made for hunting. There is no gun that shoots out 100 rounds in a minute that's made for hunting. Because last time I checked, honey, when you go to shoot that deer, it takes one bullet, boo. It don't take 100 bullets to kill the deer.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like we can have the conversation, but the conversation is falling on deaf ears at this point. To the people that actually can make the change, because they don't want to, because it's about the coins, it's about the money. So it's sad, and it's going to continue to happen. It's going to continue to happen because nobody stands up.
I'm going to tell you one thing,
gun producers.
I'm going to tell you one thing, Diva B. Not on our watch.
Come on now.
And
Come on, brother.
I want to speak to some critical things you said, but I want to be crystal clear. You know, we've been blessed to watch from the inside and the outside about what's supposed to be done about gun violence and what's not being done about gun violence. And we're this close from exposing all these phony individuals who are just about the dollar or who don't have a clue. You know, you were talking about the guns. And I'm going to tell you something I personally know. I've been personally involved with working with so-called gangs across this country for the last 25, 30 years. And I'll never forget in Los Angeles, and this is firsthand information, they used to bring train loads of guns. And you see, they know they used to go on the trailers and steal stuff like TVs and refrigerators and appliances. They used to hit them. And so they started actually having guns in unlocked train cars. Now you do your own research on that. But what's the difference between people right here in Miami-Dade who try to paint a picture of our youth who are perpetrating most of this violence as if they're the number one animals and symbols? Be careful, because they're using that to turn us against our own. Let me give you a broader example. What's my man's name that did Michael Moore? He did a documentary years ago called Bowling for Columbine. In the documentary, he's actually interviewing the CEO of Boeing. And I know you think Boeing, you think airplanes, but right? You're thinking no, bombs. That's how they make most of their money. So the guy, he's literally standing in front of a nuclear warhead. You know, those things that are dropped to kill thousands of innocent people at a time. And he's standing in front of, and Michael Moore says, you know, where do our young people get these ideas about violence from? And this CEO, he says, you know, I have no idea. So stop trying to paint our urban communities as if they're a violent source. And even I remember when members of our organizations went on a 21.5-day hunger strike, the students and families from Parkland came down to visit us. And it was a beautiful space being whole, because you could no longer separate suburban gun violence from urban gun violence, because they were willing to work together. We were willing to work together. But the power machine in opposition and lobby for the lack of gun control is so strong that it's broken America's people down to our immoral knees, where we rather see our blood spilled in the street than to stand up with a moral background and say enough is enough. Enough is enough doesn't mean say stop the killing. We got to stop the things that are producing the killing.
Come on now. That's it. That's it. You know? Syndee, I would love to hear from you. You and I had a conversation on our thread. We were like, you know, we both said, really, truly, Black Lives Matter? Really? Because we're killing each other. So Syndee, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Brother Law, you brought this up in what you just said about, if we are rioting in the streets, if we are advocating for Black lives, if we are advocating for the police to not exhibit violence upon our own community, how now is this a huge, it seems like it's not a trend, it's just some sort of explosion of Black and brown on violence, because we honestly don't know who these masked people are who have been driving by. We have no idea what their identities are. There has been some sort of secrecy. No one's come forward yet. So we don't know the actual cultural backgrounds of any of these people.
Exactly.
So, but in that, how can we say that Black Lives Matter when we don't matter to us first?
Come on.
That's a great point. You know, and Syndee, as I listen to you now, you know, we all got to have thick skin now, because how they say, here Here,
Okay.
here come now.
Come on. Come on.
You know, when you talk about both the injustices that brought about protests because of the killing of Black lives, and it's usually looked at from a lens of white supremacy, we forget that a coin has two sides. And on the opposite side of the coin of white supremacy is Black inferiority. It's self-hatred.
Go there.
And we keep ignoring the fact that the Black on Black crime that we see is a product of the robbing of our culture, of the enslaving of our minds, and the traumatic disruption of our families. So what you see happening in the inner cities, even when it's Black killing Black, I'm sorry, family, it's still a white hand. And what I mean 100%. By that is we have to come to grips to understand it's not about looking just at who done it today. Because if you can lock up all the whodunits today, and there's going to be a new whodunit already for tomorrow. And so we got to get up out of that vicious cycle. So any real solution, it has to involve real conversation around white supremacy and Black inferiority and its effect in producing me so much that I can learn. I'm talking about me right here, to hate myself so much. I'm talking about me right here. But through knowledge of self in a human transformation experience, I've learned to love me and all those around me. So we cannot ignore the hand that white supremacy has played in creating the Black on Black crime in our communities.
I'm saying, Shanda, Dr. Shanda.
Whew, I'm sitting here because I'm hearing y'all and I'm listening to Brother Lyle. And I have so many questions. I have so many questions that I don't even know if we have the answer to. So I'm debating, should I even ask the question? And I was on my phone just now as you were talking to go on our Twitter to share our live. And the first thing I saw was Fort Lauderdale man kills ex-wife and friend before injuring another ex. I couldn't even go to our page to share it because that's the first thing I saw. And what I see, because of what I do in domestic violence, I guess arena, for lack of a better word, is that we see a lot of gun violence, even in domestic violence relationships. We know, or I think you said earlier, where we feel the guns are coming from. Why are the guns? I have two questions. Why are the guns? I don't know if you can answer them, so I'm just going to ask it. Why are the guns in the hands of these convicted felons? Why are they in the hands of abusers? Why are they in the hands of children?
Beautiful question.
And second question, all of these shootings that are going on right now, the shooting in the crowds. I'm having a party this weekend. The first thing I thought about was, dang, do I need to worry about my guests? You know what I mean? Because people are just shooting in crowds. So
we're scared to go out.
The first thing I told my kids, I have a bunch of children. I can't even give the ages right now, but it's a bunch of them, but they're grown. So the first thing I told them is, don't hang out in the crowds. If you're going somewhere, if you're going to the club, you're going out to a party, graduation party, sad, don't be outside. If you're walking, go to your car. If you're going to be there, go back inside. But don't stand in the crowd. This is what we have to tell our children right now. You can't hang in the crowd. Do you feel, Brother Lyle, that it's a gang initiation? Do you feel that there is someone that's there that they are trying to target? Or do you feel that these cowards, that's what they are, they're cowards, just shooting because I feel it's a gang initiation. I feel there's someone that's there because this is happening too much. It's happening too much and the same thing is going on. Find a crowd, shoot at it.
I can give you some very specifics in relation to the second part of that question. But the first part of your question, look, we just have to understand, family, and this is on us, citizens. You know, there's a new documentary coming out HBO documentary produced by a Haitian brother. And the title of the documentary is Exterminate the Brutes. And he talks about three factors. He talks about civilization, colonization, extermination. And I remember a senator of the United States of America, this was just last week, saying these words. He said, we did not give permission to tell our history from its beginning as being violent. So now let's just strip it down to the core. Because it's a daggone shame that you wait till it gets down to the little black and brown babies that have been miseducated, underrepresented in every major system that you can, before you look and see how violent America is.
Come on.
America is a sickening, violent cesspool.
Come on. Go there. Go there.
It feeds violence in every aspect, and all violence is related. Domestic violence is related to street violence.
Yes.
The insanity that takes place in so-called mass shootings or school shootings is related to the insanity that takes place. I can take a gun and just shoot up people who look like me. But we as citizens, we want to keep on having a steady diet of violence and act like everything's all right. It's just a movie. It's all right. It's just a toy gun. We have been fed since America's inception. Matter of fact, how was America formed? Through violence.
Yeah.
And how does America solve its problems? So how are we going to tell the babies to stop doing what the adults haven't stopped doing?
Our children are growing up and seeing this. It's crazy.
Yeah, right. And now to bring it home. I can tell you specifically, one of the beautiful things about the Circle of Brotherhood is we them boys. We got brothers in our organization from the streets to the suites. Some of us were the ones out there causing all that havoc and teaching and training all of that madness. True confession. Others of us have never seen the back of a street car, a police car. But one thing we know for sure, we have our pulse on what's going on. I'll give you a perfect case and scenario. With all the back and forth gun violence that's going on, we've had our pulse on it. But the government programs, they don't want you to do certain things that deal and get to the root causes. And I'll share this and shut down on it. Back in this past January, when we saw a rash of back and forth so-called gang-related shooting, we got close to the individuals involved because of who we are. And I'll never forget, one of those main players gave us an agreement, and we were about to initiate a truce and a pause. Do you know the very next day the feds came and picked him up?
Wow.
And you know what he said while he was going away? Wow. Now they all need to die. Kill them all. So why don't you let the people who really know the streets take the lead on these projects and programs and stop acting like you know what to do in these problems and programs? You know, and it's a shame right here in Miami-Dade County. You know, I can't tell you how many reporters nationally have been reaching out to call my phone, right? But I wonder if there are people in the county for their own ego or own selfish reason or ignorance reasons don't want to look at what we're presenting as a solution. It's a political game in Miami right now. So now it's no longer about money, because there's hundreds of millions that are coming in through the CARES Act, specifically that could be applied to gun violence. It's no longer about, do we have a solution? There's too many organizations who are working, who know what needs to be done and know how to do it.
Come on.
You know, so do we as citizens, do we have the cojones to hold our politicians accountable to do the right thing?
That's it.
Or are we going to continue to see them do the same thing over again?
Come on now.
So that's what you inspired me to say, Dr. Shanda.
And Brother Lau, to close things out, of course, and we're going to have to invite you back again because we see that this is going to be a continuous situation. So we would love to have you back. But in closing out, please take us on a vision of exactly what does Circle of Brotherhood, what do you guys do the moment there is a shooting or a killing? Do you go into the communities Give us just a quick review of what you guys do.
I will say, and I have to say it this way because, again, unfortunately, it's a political football being tossed around right now. What we're doing right now under our county initiative is actually not the same thing we were doing just a few months ago under the county initiative. See, a few months ago, we were being able to, through our Peacemakers program, have a direct impact in some crucial areas. But, we're no longer able to do that. And we're only able to right now respond to shootings. And, shootings are going to continue to take place.
Wow.
I'm just keeping it real with you. I'm my eyes on the county government right now. And I'm going to a hearing tomorrow to see what they have to say about the mayor's peace and prosperity plan.
Yes.
I already know the political games that some of them have played with me and us. But I also know that there are some individuals that will have the political will to do right by our children. We're not talking about building codes and zones. We're talking about dying men and women.
Come on.
And so there just needs to be a reality check around that. But all of us, family, we have to start in our homes. First of all, if you're a parent, don't you ever assume that you know everything that your child is involved in.
Come on now. Oh, now you're trying to start something.
Don't
make that mistake.
He's right.
Come on now.
You
Don't make that mistake. And don't you think that you can sit on your couch and shake your head at the news on the Tell Live Vision and say, that's a shame what's going on down the street, and you don't think it's going to be knocking on your door.
Come on. Yeah.
The circle of brotherhood inquires and asks all of us, get involved with a community-based organization that either goes directly to mentor young people or either get more informed about what initiatives are going on in your community or reach out for us. We do so many different things. You ask me what we do, I'm like, wow. But when it comes to dealing with gun violence, when it comes to trauma and healing, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And that's what none of these programs have in it, but it's invested in all of our programs. There has to be initiatives involved in the trauma and healing that our community has suffered from. So.
And Brother Lyle, before we, of course, say our goodbyes to you, first of all, it's never goodbye. It's see you later, because I'm going to see you later. But tell us, how can we reach you? I'm going to share your information on the screen as well. But go ahead and tell us, how can we reach you? How can we contact you?
Please, family, for us, this is a life and death emergency. My email address is Lyle, Lyle, at cobmiami.org. Please reach out. You can see the rest of our information on the screen right there. If you go to our website, you'll be able to reach out. We're willing to partner. We're willing to listen. We're willing to promote, and we're willing to fight for what's right.
Absolutely. Brother Lyle, I can't thank you enough for joining us. I have to let everybody even know how this even came about. It was on my heart this weekend to change one of my topics to this. And then it hit me Sunday morning. I was like, I got to get Brother Lyle. And I kid you not, which that was yesterday. So I called him. I was like, what you doing? Where you at? Oh, you got plans?
You can do that.
I was like, I know it's short notice, but I need you. And just like you always do, Brother Lyle, you come through every time. This community needs you. I thank you. We thank you. And guys, like he said, please feel free. I'm going to share Brother Lyle's information on our Facebook page, on all of our social media pages. Please reach out to him. And remember, if you see something, say something. Yes, everybody, let's please give a round of applause to Brother Lyle. Thank you so much, Brother Lyle.
And you all got a new fan of your show. I want you to know that.
Oh,
but I'm the kind of fan that likes to spread the love. So I'm going to be telling everyone. And thank you for being bold and courageous enough to tackle such a tough subject matter.
Thank you.
We do have solutions.
You leave the touching to me, Brother Lyle.
Wait a minute.
All right, Diva.
On that note, we're gonna move to the next subject. Brother Lyle, thank you.
Thank you, Brother Lyle. And don't forget,
family.
We have a meeting. Don't forget.
That's done.
That's gonna be a special edition of Talk Miami.
Yes, ma'am. Consider it done.
I
All
got
right,
you, baby.
bye. Love
God
you
bless.
too. So, speaking of that man talking about touching, Lord Jesus, can we touch and agree right now that Diva B, honey, it's just your time. You just know how to
It's time
make
to
an
dish
intro,
the
don't
dirt,
you?
baby.
Honey, let me tell you something right now, Diva B. You are always on the one. It is time for Diva B dishes the dirt. How you doing? Come on through.
Well, thank you, baby. I'm doing amazing. After Brother Lyle, I don't know how I'm going to compete with that. I think I need to go and redo another topic for myself. But in keeping with the theme of pride, my topic this evening, I actually have two topics. Both are very quick. But in talking with the topic, I'm sorry, I want to say last night it saddens me that Pose on FX came to a conclusion.
No, stop
It was
it. Did
its
they
final
announce it?
episode. It was its final episode last
No.
night, which broke my heart. For those of you who don't know, Pose has had 3 seasons. It's a story. It's a show about the 1980s gay ballroom scene and how gay and transgender people struggled through the AIDS pandemic, discrimination, and all those other things. So it does sadden me that Pose came to an end last night. Such a beautiful show. Every time I watched, I was in tears. It made me laugh. It made me cry. And if you didn't see it, y'all don't know what the hell you're missing. So go watch Pose on FX. See if you can get it on Hulu. Yes, Miss Syndee.
I love Pose.
Me
I just want to
too.
give a big
Great show.
shout out to all of the actors and actresses
Yes.
on that show.
Absolutely.
MJ Rodriguez is a Broadway baby. She has been in the game for a long time. A lot of these beautiful women have been in the game for a long time. So I'm just so proud of how well Ryan Murphy and his team did this storytelling of the show. A legendary Billy Porter, who is
Billy
Broadway,
Porter.
he is Broadway royalty to us.
He was
And
beautiful.
for him to actually get his moment now, he deserves it. He is the anchor of that show. And so to know that he even created his part in this show and how it creates gravity and holds the show together with his presence as the patriarch of these characters. It also shows, on top of your point of what the story is about, Diva B, it also talks about how we see the product of their creativity today or throughout that entire time in every aspect of our world, of our own culture. So big shout outs to
Pose,
the Pose for bringing that and doing it in such a beautiful, opulent way as that community does.
It actually saddened me when I heard that was the last season. I was so sad because it has been a show that on Sundays has kept me up, even though I work Monday mornings, so it was sad. And on my other one, I thought about bringing 2 men all sweaty and hot into the topic. So as many of you know, last night was the Floyd Mayweather and the Logan Paul fight, which I didn't watch.
I fell asleep. Who won?
Yeah, I didn't watch. I know Shanda said she was there. So what I found out, because of course you know how to do some research, because me watching boxing, honey, that's like me changing my tire on my own car. Yeah, right. So I found out it was an exhibition fight. They went 8 rounds, but there was really no rules. There was nobody judging. So nobody was declared an actual winner. So to me, it wasn't really a fight. That was a fight just for some coins, which you can't hate on somebody for trying to make their coins.
Absolutely. He came out of retirement.
That is Diva B with dishing the dirt. Bloop, bloop.
Woohoo! And the show must go on, and I'm ready. First of all, I'm going to say this live on air right now. It is 8:44, and I don't know if you guys noticed. Trust me, around 8:42, Shanda did y'all saw she tried to cover her mouth. See, I told y'all around 8:45. Look at the eyes. Look at the eyes.
Because the eyes are low.
Yeah, and we behind, we behind a little bit on, on time. Shanda, hang in there, baby. I need about another 20 more minutes from you, baby. Hang in there, okay?
I'm
We
holding
coming,
on.
baby.
I'm trying.
We coming. So speaking of topic number 2, and let's just get right into it. I just had to find out, do we all agree with Auntie Monique, honey? Syndee, go into character. Shanda, go into character, because I'm about to go into character too right now.
What y'all ain't finna
Yes,
do?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Right
Wait,
now.
I want mine. You see a bonnet, but I see a helmet of salvation. Okay. But I want to hear from the audience. And I actually took a poll. I put it out there on my social media to
I'm gonna put
find
it on
out.
because I'm sleepy.
She really getting ready for bed. George,
Can I interrupt for a moment?
yes, boo.
So I didn't want y'all ladies to think you was the only ones
Ooh.
with bonnets. But I've been hiding a bonnet under here, girl, for the last God knows how long, honey. Because I figured, I had to have a bonnet.
Is real.
I'm done.
Let me tell you, honey, I went to 4 shops today to get this bonnet, girl. Okay?
Oh my God, I'm done, Diva.
But I've been hiding it all night. That was my surprise.
You are too
I had
much,
to bust
honey.
out the bonnet, bitch.
So everyone, let's take you there. Auntie
Wait,
Monique.
my auntie said, leave me alone, y'all.
She really getting ready for bed. We go through this every Monday.
I have to ask you a question before we talk about this topic.
Yes.
For someone like me, what is the point of the bonnet? What does it do?
Why
do you wear it?
Okay, so will go ahead, Syndee.
This is okay. Let's give you some sisters 101. Yeah, we call it a helmet of salvation because it protects your edges.
Yeah,
it protects the proteins in the follicles of your hair. So even if you have a silky texture, if you rub it on a cotton surface or a rough surface, it dries your hair. It strips your cuticle of your follicle, correct? So as a daughter of an esthetician and cosmetologist, I learned a long time ago that silk is a protein that protects your hair follicle.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that. We educate on here. But just in case if you didn't see Auntie Monique's plea to the community about wearing bonnets in public, here you go.
And as we began to walk through the airport, I saw so many, actually too many to count and too many for me to tap. But I saw so many of our young sisters in head bonnets, scarves, slippers, pajamas, blankets wrapped around them, and this is how they're showing up to the airport. And I've been seeing it, not just at the airport, I've been seeing it at the store, at the mall. I've been seeing sisters showing up with these bonnets and headscarves and their slippers. And the question that I'm having to you, my sweet babies, when did we lose pride in representing ourselves?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. So of course I did put, that question out there on my social media, and I wanted to hear. And so I tallied up all the votes, and the votes are in. But before we share the results, let's go around. I want to hear from you, Syndee. Do we wear bonnets in public?
Let me tell you something. I was raised by a woman who worked for Delta Airlines as a ticketing agent. And growing up, we were required as employees to dress up when we flew. We weren't allowed to wear sneakers, jeans. It was very strict dress code. And so because it was a privilege to fly, they created the marketing where it was a privilege to fly. And then I actually became an adult and started flying all the time. It's what I do for my own career. I fly to different cities all the time. And I realized it is very hard to upkeep that when you get off the plane and then have to go straight to a gig. But sometimes it has to be that way.
Come on.
My thought about it is it's okay to have comfort and wear your loungewear.
Yeah. We didn't say you can't be comfortable. Yeah.
Now, you could, but like in the word of pop, you got to coordinate.
Come on now.
You got to coordinate. Now, I have friends who disagree with me 100% because, yes, I agree that we shouldn't be shaming people for how they appear. But if someone treats you a certain way based on how you look, it is their perception of you.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. It's that first impression.
It's the first impression. Now, do I believe that that's right? No. I don't believe that that's right, how you treat people based on the way that they look. However, I just like dressing up. So I don't have to wear makeup when I go to the airport, but at least having a nice caftan or having at least my blanket wrapped up so it goes under my arm. Just very neat. I like being neat and not all spread out.
Yeah, absolutely. And Syndee, we're not talking about beat your face before you leave, throw on lashes, get your hair done. You can I don't wear makeup when I go to the grocery. I don't even wear makeup every day, but just look presentable. That's all Auntie Monique was saying. When did we start wearing our pajamas out of the house? Dr. Shanda. Wait, she back, y'all.
Can I just say that? Oh, y'all noticed I was gone? I tried to do it real quick. I'm sorry. It didn't work. Okay.
We saw you.
I try to get change real quick. You could see everything. You saw everything.
I thought Auntie Monique will talk a little longer. I'm sorry.
I know.
Because of the time of the show. Okay, go ahead.
So can I just say that Auntie Monique, I'm not disagreeing with her, however,
go ahead.
Auntie Monique was scolding us, or us, some of us, while she was in her bathrobe on a public platform without a brassiere. Is that not home? Is that
she was home?
She's home on a public platform. So it equates to the same thing as me wearing my bonnet in the airport where everyone could see me. She was on a platform where everyone could. TK, let me finish. Let me.
We all have our own opinion. Go ahead, girl.
Let me finish. On a platform where everyone can see her in her bathrobe with no bra.
I don't disagree with you.
That's like me telling you don't smoke weed while I got a joint in my hand.
Why we gotta do that?
That's all I'm saying.
You know,
I'm sorry.
Don't wait
that don't like that concept. Okay, that's me saying I don't know. Do something.
That was a good concept. That was a good analogy. That's fine.
Can I tell you something?
DVB ain't like that one.
No, but I just bought my bonnet today, honey, and I feel like I'm about to go cook in the kitchen. I feel like I'm about to go to the club. I feel like I want to. No, but I want to sing you some like Ratatouille or something, like me.
Oh, you got that French.
Girl, I am feeling that bonnet, honey. Look at that.
This bonnet I even got my edges, honey. I can't do this.
I'm gonna wear this to bed every night. I'm gonna be honest. I need to do mine like TK, where it goes to the back or something.
Well, you know what? Go ahead, Syndee.
If I may, I do have to Shanda's point, when this conversation was brought to my attention, I immediately thought in my mind, well, Aunt Nikki Parker has everything to do with this. Like Nikki Parker played her part in why this is the way this is.
I got you.
I love Monique. I think she's hilarious. She's a great comedian. But her character as Nikki Parker or any other characters that she's played in the past, particularly Precious's mother, contribute to a visual. That doesn't mean that it doesn't depict real life, which is what she is doing as an actress. But is it chicken or egg? Which came first? And then how do you stop it?
Yeah.
Is there a way to stop it? But coming from, I'm the youngest person here, and I still believe in presenting yourself well, particularly when it reflects we are still walking out of our house representing our families and communities.
Absolutely. And on that note,
you're younger than me, Syndee.
Yes. She's the baby. I think I'm the oldest on the show.
13.
Yes.
What?
But on that note, Syndee, you are. You know what, y'all so silly. You are absolutely right. And I'm going to share my side of it. And to my late grandmother who just passed, because she is the one who taught me how to make sure. She said, honey, I want to set you up. You dress for success, not dress to impress. We represent ourselves when we walk out that door. And like I said, it doesn't mean I have to go out every day with lashes and my face beat every day. But you never know who you're going to run into at that airport. It's just a representation. When do you have pride for yourself to know better and to do better? And if you don't have someone in your circle that tell you, that's what mentoring is all about. Having someone, that grandmother, that mother. I think it's a mentality. If your mom is doing it, you don't see a problem doing it. If your sisters are doing it, and if they don't check you, it's a mentality. It's a learned behavior. But someone needs to put someone aside and just say, dress to at least be presentable. And to me, a bonnet is just like your pajamas. I wouldn't go outside in my underwear. So why would I go outside with this bonnet on my head? First of all, I got it. Go ahead. But I got in bed with my husband with this on, and Pharaoh turned on the light, was like, who the hell is this?
It's about to make a pie.
Well, you know what? My mommy is on here. My mama's on here. And
hey, mommy.
My mom. Hey, mommy. Joyce Hampton is my mother, honey. She made this queen right here, this goddess.
Oh, yes, honey.
All of this.
Come through.
But my mama would tell me, Lord Jesus, gal, what you doing? Ain't no way.
Yeah.
I'm going.
That's right. You had someone. That's right. And I believe that's what Auntie.
I have a Jamaican mother and a Bahamian father, Bahamian family.
That's right.
And you have to go out and present yourself. I'm not saying get dressed up and glammed up. You don't have to do that. But what's for the bedroom should be for the bedroom. What's for the house should be. Yeah. We wouldn't go outside in our moo-moo. I have a moo-moo when I wear that bonnet.
Well, please don't bring up moo-moos. I don't want to have to go buy a moo-moo now for the next show.
Do it, friend. Do it.
Yeah.
Come on now.
So
I'll be honest though, I agree with you, because when I go to the airport, I'm going to sit on a plane and I'm going to get somewhere. But honey, I dress to the nine at the airport, because you never know. You might meet that man of your dreams or that woman of your dreams crossing in the terminal, and your ass got on a bonnet, okay? I mean, it's cute. It's cute, but
I do want to share the results with everyone, because you're going to find this so interesting. Hold on, watch this. So it's so interesting that I shared it on my Facebook story and on my Instagram story. And let me see if you guys are going to catch the difference. So on Facebook, 12% said yes, that you should wear your bonnet in public, and 88% said no. Now, when you switch it to Instagram, are you guys following me on this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Look at that rate. It was almost even. 45% is saying yes, you can wear a bonnet in public, and 55% is saying no. Who knows what is the difference? Go ahead.
It's the demographic.
Yep. There you go.
The demographic of people who are on Facebook are of a certain generation and age, and the demographic on Instagram is a younger demographic, and they are comfortable with that. But I'll TK Darius D, shout out to Darius D, just had a comment. Presentable for who? If you feel good about what you're wearing, why is it anyone else's concern?
How about presentable for yourself? Because you don't have to do anything for anyone else.
Right.
My grandmother taught me to be my best. And I strive to do my best in everything. And that's even based on my appearance. I'm not walking out this house with a bonnet on. I'm not walking out this house with my slippers on and my pajamas on. Now, of course, to each his own. It is your choice. But I know how my grandmother, I'm thankful that I had a woman in my life to pull me to the side to tell me. And I believe that's all Auntie Monique was trying to do.
Avis Warren says, Hi, Avis. I've met some amazing people in the airport. Easier conversation when you look like you care.
There you go. On that point. All right. But of course, you guys know.
We tossing the bonnets, girls.
Yes, absolutely. And
happy graduation.
That's it. Woo! So, of course.
Figure that out.
Exactly. Thank you.
Now I don't have to be so hot, honey. It was hot, girl.
And we are truly, truly behind. But you guys know, I feel like when something is just so good, we have to keep going with the flow. So right now, it is time to go straight into Syndee's spotlight. Syndee, what do you have for us this week, honey?
There were so many things that I missed out on last week because I hadn't done my Syndee's spotlight the week before because I had technical difficulties, and last week because we were on Memorial Day turning up. So I wanted to talk about an event that happened previously that I was so humbly grateful for being invited to. The Broward Center for the Performing Arts and Black Violin, a native South Floridian violin duo, classic music duo, created this amazing talk with the Broward Center about amplifying Black voices in a series called Arts for Action, Black Voices. Broward Center initiative with Black Violin, Darius Daughtry. Shout out Darius. I see you. He just commented.
I love Darius. Hi, Darius.
And the conversation was moderated by Nikki Mohan and myself. I participated in the conversation as well. And it just talked about how we can bridge the gap between what happens in our community in the arts, in the theaters that right next door, the large performing arts centers that are in our communities, and the community themselves. So there were really great points by Will and Kev of Black Violin and Darius, and they're going to be re-streaming this event pretty soon. So I'll let you guys know about that. But it's true, I'm the people that were there. The president of Broward Center got on record and said that he understands that he needs to be making a change in getting the community into Broward Center and participating in what Broward Center has to offer. Now, I remember when The Lion King came to Broward Center in 2005, and I had just graduated high school, and I loved musical theater, and I loved singing and dancing and acting. I knew that I wanted to do it for a living, but I couldn't afford a ticket to go and see the show of something that I was obsessed with. Right. And I think you cut a line very early when your young people can't have access to it, and then you lose a lifelong member because it locks people out. And so as we are continuing as a society to grow in different ways of creativity and arts, the living art form is the one that is the most important and that matters the most, and how our community participates with it is also extremely important. Our theater needs to look like how our world looks.
Absolutely.
And I'm so excited to be a part of this conversation and the conversations that succeed this. So
but thank you.
That's my Syndee spotlight.
Absolutely. You know how I feel about the performing arts world. So thank you for all that you do, Syndee.
And June is Black Music Month. So I'm very excited. If you guys have a musician locally or a poet or anyone that you want me to give a shout out to and showcase, please send an email over to talkmiamishow@gmail.com and we will look into them and give them a shout out.
You do rappers as well, Syndee?
Yes, rappers.
That's art. Yeah.
I can rap.
No, we're not doing this today.
No, don't worry. I'm just kidding. I would rap. I don't know how to rap.
No, ma'am. And speaking of, because before she fall asleep, everybody,
I know
we have to tap. We have to tap into the corner. It's time for Dr. Shanda's Community Corner. What do you have for us, Dr. Shanda?
Everyone. So the organization that we are highlighting.
Now, wait a minute.
Now this is pause.
No, stop right there, Shanda.
It's Shanda's voice.
Diva B again.
I'm so sorry. I even put 3 things there to hold it there.
Don't get me tonight. Don't get me tonight.
Oh my God.
Go ahead, Dr. Shanda. Go. Just go.
Nothing to say. Nothing to say.
Okay.
Didn't we talk about this?
Won't get me tonight.
And I even gave you my word.
I'll try it. Let me keep going because it's coming. It's coming.
We're gonna lose her.
TK, stop trying to get.
Okay, I'm sorry. Because I just wish people know what we do behind the scenes. They get to see it all. I swear, this is every day on our chat, y'all. Just okay, Shanda, you can't even. There she goes. She laughing. Let him use you.
I was doing good, TK. It was your fault.
I'm sorry. Okay.
So we're going to talk about Heaven Sent Foundation. So before I talk about it, I'm going to play this video real quick and I'll explain the video.
Let everyone just bless each other, and that's it. And, amen. So, I'm going to go. Dear Heavenly Father, we just thank you. Thank you, Father, for this morning. Thank you, Father, for the people that prepared this food. We thank you, God, because this is a service unto you. Not service unto man, but unto you, God. We just want to live by you. We want to love you. We want to show that love. Father, Valentine's Day, God, a lot of people are lonely. A lot of people are separated. A lot of people are depressed, God. And I just want to show these people, Father, your children, that they are loved. They're more than a conqueror. They're an overcomer. They're blessed when they come in. They're blessed when they're out. Father God, you give them an anointing, no other. This is a 2020. This is a new name of Jesus. No weapon for against him shall prosper. Father God, you are the Holy One. We exalt you. Yes, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Whew. So
Amen.
that is Mr. Charles Mack. Charles Mack is the CEO and founder of Heaven Sent Foundation. Oh, I'm sorry, Charles Mack. That was Brother Charles Mack. He is the CEO and founder of Heaven Sent Foundation. Heaven Sent Foundation, they go and feed the homeless very often. However, and unfortunately, Charles Mack passed away in November. He was a friend of ours. We met him. He's in our life for about a good year. And he loved the people. He was someone who was for God's people. So he takes what he grew up in the foster care system, and he just wanted to give back. He has a heart of God, and he gives back by doing a Valentine's luncheon in the city of Overtown. He also does Christmas, but they do it often. It's not just those 2 holidays. They do it often. But since his passing in November, his girlfriend, Farrah Carpel, who is a good friend of mine as well, I love her so much. She's a beautiful being. She has taken over what he had started. She vowed to continue his work. The community-based initiative that assists the 4,000 plus individuals in Miami-Dade County who are living on the streets or in shelters. Through our efforts, we provide opportunities and hope for our friends without homes, clothing, food, and toiletries. So this is my community side partner this week. It will be Heaven Sent Foundation. I want you all to please go onto their website, which is heavensentfoundation.org. That is heavensentfoundation.org. Please see how you can help, how you can support, how you can donate. Help them out by helping the community. They are doing this all the time. She goes often. She's always, she has a group of people that's helping her. Please keep Charles' dream alive by helping the community and helping her out and the organization out by making sure you donate to the organization. So that's heavensentfoundation.org. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for your community corner. So, guys, we are coming to an end of our show. But before we leave, we have some beautiful and amazing things that are taking place in the month of June. And of course, we cannot leave without giving a happy Pride Month to all of those that are out there. And Diva B, we love you. So, you know, I had to show some love and some pride during this month. And we cannot leave without saying happy birthday.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday,
Shanda.
Wait, Diva B, what you said?
Shanda. It's your birthday, Shanda.
It's about to be a ringtone up in here. Hold on.
Wait a minute. So everybody, please show some love. Wednesday is Dr. Shanda's birthday, and we love you, Dr. Shanda. We took her out last weekend to celebrate her birthday.
Oh, we should have uploaded that video and showed them.
I know. Ooh, get it.
Oh, yeah, I think about
We're
it.
going to share. We'll share it on our social media.
We'll share it on social media.
That's right. We'll share it on
Because
social
she
media.
had no clue.
I did.
Speaking of social media and where we are, if you guys are checking us out on YouTube and Facebook, you can check us out and the replay of this on our podcast. Podcasts. We're
That's
all
right.
streaming platforms, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Apple Music. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel to remind you that we are on live every Monday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Oh,
That's right.
all the happy
Shanda.
birthdays gonna make me cry. Y'all gonna
Cry.
And if you see
Like
Dr.
I'm
Shanda in the
sleepy.
street for her birthday, give her $20, everyone.
That's
Yes,
right.
honey. I need
So-
the $20.
This month we celebrate you, Diva B. We celebrate you, Shanda, and it's a hot girl summer. Are y'all ready? Next week we are passing the baton to Diva B. He will be your host next week. Please make sure you continue to follow us on all social media platforms. And until next week, bye everybody.
Add it up. Okay, all right.
My
Good night.
Good night.